Well, as we all know, Terraria's Labor of Love update was released a little while ago, and I needed a reason to pump in more hours into the game. So I decided that I'd try and see what's new and see if I can complete the game on the hardest difficulty. No, not that one. The hidden one. Yeah, that's the one. So I loaded up the game and made a new world with the seed for the worthy. After making my new character that would fit this challenge, I looked for a fitting name for the world as I spammed the random button. I loaded into the world with a hopeful expectation as I quickly discovered that trees now drop bombs. After getting a bit of wood, I decided to get one of the new summoner items early and get my first death out of the way. Having the tombstone down, I ventured to the Reddit and started looking for more loot. I discovered that pots also now drop bombs. From starting my adventure mining, collecting loot and ores, I grabbed everything inside. After mining and exploring for a couple of hours, I decided that I hadn't died enough times to make some upgrades. Having obtained better equipment, I started making some temporary housing to start getting the NPCs to join the world. After setting up the houses, I decided to use the magic cons to teleport to the ocean and get some extra loot and get the angler for an early start to his quests. Finally, having better equipment, I started making a starter house for the guide and sorted out some of my chests. Now, I might not know how to build a house, but I do know how to Google a cool looking one. And after finding a simple one I could make, I started right away. While building, I thought of a few small goals that I would want to do while I progressed through the world. In no particular order, these are just some of the goals that I wanted to do. Make cool housing for the NPCs and set up pylons, make mob farms to get good loot drops, make a cool arena, and defeat most if not all of the bosses. After building the house, I started exploring more and came across this huge mushroom farm. Looting it for some extra goodies and health crystals, I ventured down a bit deeper, but before I could explore any further, I got completely wormed. Moving on, I decided to break some shadow orbs and see what weapons I could obtain, and after getting the musket, I thought of making a ranger playthrough in this world. After getting the musket, I traveled to the desert biome to build a house for the arms dealer and the nurse to get another pylon set up. Now, I've played on master mode before, and my previous playthroughs were summoner and melee. So I thought it would be between ranger and mage this time, and seeing as I got a good weapon this early on, I decided on ranger. After having the arms dealer and the nurse move in, I quickly finished the house and bought another pylon. I explored a bit of the world just before I started looking for some sturdy fossils for making my armor set. I found 2 living wood trees right next to each other and an enchanted cave right under them, which I've never seen before. Moving back up, I found the dungeon and quickly looted all I could before the guardians showed up. Having decided on rangers, I moved into the underground desert in search for a couple of things. Sturdy fossils to make the armor, an ancient chisel to help me mine faster, a bass statue for some extra defense in the arena, and of course the extractinator to get the sturdy fossils. After a couple of chests, I finally started to find the items I needed, but at what cost? After getting enough sturdy fossils to make a new set of armor, I moved on to make a small arena to fight the Eye of Cthulhu. I added some buffs to the arena to help me with the fight, and after just barely finishing the arena for the Eye of Cthulhu, it spawned in naturally. Having prepped just in time and using some buff potions, I was ready to take him on. I ended up using platinum armor instead of fossil armor to fight the Eye of Cthulhu, but I think I'll have a rematch with him and do a pure ranger playthrough from this point on. I don't know how hard the boss fights are going to be, but after testing the waters with everything I could get on the first boss, I'm confident that I can do a pure ranger playthrough. The fight against the Eye of Cthulhu wasn't the hardest thanks to the arena, but it was an intense fight regardless. It took a while to beat due to how slow the fire rate of the musket is, but I'll let the fight play out and you can see for yourself. After a while, I finally killed the Eye of Cthulhu and claimed victory. Thanks everyone for sticking until the end. I can't wait to take on the rest of the For the Worthy seed.